Welcome back to Demon Souls. Let's get the hell out of here. Let's go back to the Nexus. Let's go back to the Nexus. You and me, we're gonna talk, okay? Here's what we're gonna do. We, have basically gotten into the following pickle. Here is Flame Lurker Lava Face. I don't think we're strong enough to beat him. This, at Upper Latria, we have Maneater. I think we might be strong enough to beat him, but the problem is, I'm all out of humanitarianization. Whatever it is called that causes you to get there. So what I'm thinking of is we start going to these puppies over here. We do the Valley of Defilement. So this is kind of what I'm thinking, is I'm sort of switching my mental model in this game a bit. Away from... There's the traditional gameplay style, which is you just linearly go forward and you beat World 1, and then you go to World 2, and you beat World 2, and then you go to World 3, and you beat World 3. This is the Mario SNES version. Then there's the open world version, which frankly, I think that Dark Souls, which has a bit more of an open Metroidvania style construction, it really is about getting all the way to the end of an area and moving on. But I think that this game wants me to, like, do section 1-1, and then section 1-2, and then section 2-1, and then section 3-1, and then section 4-1. Like, it feels like I should be trying to move through. Let me finish this thought, and then let me just say what the fuck. I feel like it is about starting to slowly advance through... Oh, I'm an idiot. Slowly advancing through all the worlds collectively, doing the start of each world, and then doing the part 2 of each world, and then doing part 3 of each world. Because the difficulty ramping feels a little weird for me. Where the fuck? Ah! Where's my gamma at, man? Yeah, the difficulty in this game feels kind of weird because I find a lot of the areas to be kind of straightforward to travel through. It's just that the distances between bonfires are like so insanely long. It's like almost comical just how long that stuff is. Oh, I see. And then when I get to the bosses, it feels like the difficulty spikes of the bosses are some of the most extreme things. Like Flame Lurker. Going through a Flame Lurker is actually ridiculous. It's so funny to me how hard Flame Lurker is. Land 10 says there are no bonfires in the sense you're thinking of. What do you mean? Because there are bonfires in the sense that I'm thinking of, because I'm referencing the ones that I already found. Do we even kill Flame Lurker? We sure didn't. Yeah, the difficulty, like the distances between bonfires is just crazy big in this game. Alright, so how would I even get to there? Some of the cameras are still killing me in this game. Do I go this way? Swarkles! What a pleasure to see you, Swarkles. What? Then how do you get up? Wait, I'm completely confused. How the hell am I supposed to get up here? Nice. Okay. The game is designed reasonably. But yeah, I don't know. I find the difficulty to be really uneven, and the experience to be really uneven. It's really interesting. What the fuck? I'm still a bad judge of distance to these spaces. Swarkles, thank you for the gifted subs, Land 10. It's been wonderful having you here. Oh. This game is so terrible. This game is really bad. Whoa! Please, there's so much I want to say, but I can't. I gotta be good. Land10 says, yeah, it's been a tough week for me. I know. I know. I truly am the most challenging gamer to watch play, you know what I mean? Believe me when I say I feel for each and every one of you that tunes in here week after week to support me. God, that must be rough. Looks like Kai's dude's first section is ghoulish. I hate it. No. Yeah, I think my dragon sword is quite powerful. Nice little vertical maze feel over here. Hey, buddy. This has been putting these streams on in the background at work, so I only have audio. It's been a fascinating blend of sword slashes, colorful death sounds, and this game sucks. It's really terrible. I actually think this is one of the most enlightening gaming experiences I've ever had in this game. For all the reasons that I was talking about at the end of last stream, which is that, like, there's a lack of refinement and an unevenness to this game that is improved upon so much in Demon Souls, or Dark Souls. Oh, there's you. So I bet I can knock this down at a later date, huh? Because Dark Souls is my favorite in the entire series. Is that a sheer drop-off? No? very dark. Illidan's Buffy, didn't enjoy the DK30s, might be back later. If not, enjoy the weekend. Well, hey, thanks, Illidan. The Betrayer. Yeah, Demon Souls also might be the first like truly next gen looking game that I've ever played. So I've done a lot of going and falling downward, but I don't really yet know how all these areas connect to each other, so I like to go back. There's a climb down point. This fire sword is really good. Some Loot Fist says, what do you hope to see from the next From Software game? I'd be really interested to see the ways in which they explore oh my god, Bobby D, are you watching me? Oh, I got a message from Bobby D. This is so sick. Oh, fuck yeah. I'm sure Bobby D will message me again if that's the case. Oh, god, that's so sick. Anyways, what the hell was I talking about, man? It's the end of my week. I'm a little brain fried. Ouch. Oh yeah, what is it that we want to see out of the next From Software game? Thank you again, Ghosty. I really think a reframing of how open world games are done. So, I'll begin by saying, I think that Ubisoft does really incredible work. Oh, I can also stretch my back. I think Ubisoft does really, really, really incredible work. I played Immortals Phoenix Rising. Ori Monster, happy 114 months. Wonderful to see you on this Friday, Ori Monster. Cheers to you. When I played Immortals Phoenix Rising, I feel that the open world game is essentially a dabbling checklist simulator. It has combat, it has various things to collect, it has various things to craft, it has all these kinds of things going on, and it has different locations, but it just goes thump location, thump location, thump location. They're sort of just like placed around. And when I was playing, I very much so felt like the reason that I would play Immortals Phoenix Rising for 150 hours is because there would be a lot of checkboxes to fill in. Ah, I see. And then this connects back to this place where I had this grand fight. If I fall off, like, this way... Huh, yeah, I just went down here and didn't pick this up. Ring of Magical Dullness? I think that's the ring that you all wear. Clockwork Elisis. Thanks for the 5 Clockwork Elisis. And props for that point-and-click adventure kitty game. But in Immortals Phoenix Rising, there's a lot of stuff to do. There's a lot of stuff to collect. I can do all these races. I can do all these various activities. And what it feels like is a big focus on breadth. It feels like a huge focus on look at all the different things that you can do. That's right. There's the climb down point. I'm just going to recircle one more time. There's a lot of different things you can do. There's a lot of different locations you can go and look at, but I feel like the, Alright, I adjusted a ghosty. But yeah, I feel like there's a certain point where, like, if I go to Cheesecake Factory, where there's, like, 400 things to eat, if they say, hey, Cheesecake Factory's expanding, we now have 4,000 things to eat, that doesn't really change my experience of it very much, because I just get the thing that I like and I move on. And I talked a lot about the idea of internal logic in Souls games. That I think the real achievement of it is a different kind of internal logic. And I want a different kind of internal logic in an open world game. I want an open world game that, like, okay, so here's an example. Like, a lot of open world design thus far is about islands in the ocean. Right? It's about, you're playing Fallout New Vegas, and there's 20 towns, plop, 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 thrown down, and you just sort of go from this location to that location to this location to that location, and there it is. And I want to stress, I don't decry any of these games. I think that the games that I'm referencing, I all enjoy. There's no unfun game that I've referenced thus far. But what I want to stress is that, like, upon playing Immortals Phoenix Rising, or maybe a better example is upon playing one of the new Assassin's Creeds, like, I played a little bit of Odyssey, which was great. And if I see a new Assassin's Creed is coming out, my brain will go, oh, I've already played that game. I might wait one or two for the next one. Maybe be interested in seeing if they do something a little bit different. Other properties I see that happen a lot. And again, what I'm doing is I'm just describing what I currently see and I currently experience in an open world game. I just currently see and currently experience a lot of, like, islands just plop, 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 plop. I also see a lot of staticness. In Fallout, you can literally blow up an entire town or kill everyone in the town, and then I can just go to another town and everyone's just like, oh yeah, if you want to do trading routes, head on over to New Reno. I feel confident this is going to give out. Now here's Snarly Warlies. But, like, here's something, oh yeah, there's a staticness to how the experience of these games is set up. You know, what you do in one area doesn't affect the next area, and so on and so forth. What the fuck are these things? And what I'm really interested in is seeing, like, maybe a different kind of restructuring of and a different internal logic to how an open world game actually functions. I want to see it, just a different experience in an open world game. And here's, I actually sort of stumbled across this language in our last stream, and I think it's really appropriate to what I look for in a lot of the titles that excite me. There were crafting games. You collect stuff to build things. And then a new kind of logic is Factorio, which is the automation crafting game. That has a very different set of goals, a different experience. You can see the relationship between survival crafting and automation-style games, but it's a very different kind of logic. There were shooter games like Unreal and Quake. And then Counter-Strike comes along. It still has aiming and shooting and different weapons with different behavior, but the gameplay has a very different logic. It's very hide-and-seek with guns kind of feeling. And you can see that they're both FPS. But they're different. And I think Riot started calling Valorant a tactical shooter as opposed to a CSGO-like. Though I hadn't heard anyone call it a tactical shooter until then. And so, what is it that I've been praising Demon Souls and Dark Souls for being in the gaming landscape? It's a different type of internal logic for how an action RPG works. The slow, gradual movement, the very careful positioning. The construction of the world, the fact that all the enemies respawn, the harshness of many of these components. It's a different kind of... Oh, send back all the chunks. It's a great track. I don't remember getting this at all. I don't remember getting this at all. Don't remember getting this at all. Don't remember. I remember getting this one. Let's send it all back. Yeah, the Souls game have a... like, a real... just bizarre logic to them when compared to action RPGs that exist in parallel to them in creation. And so, what would I like to see out of the next From Software game? Some kind of reimagining of what the logic of an open world game is supposed to be, because I'm going to state this too strongly, but I still think it's fair, despite it not quite being accurate. I came from this way. And that statement is this: I'm kind of tired of open world stuff. I'm kind of tired of the model of... look at just how many damn icons there are on the map and so on and so forth.
You there. Won't you please buy something? My poor child is hungry.
Filthy woman. You have a fucking mace on you? What is this?
I wasted my breath on you. Did that witch send you to torment me?
And the thing is that I don't know what it is that I want out of a new open world game.
Please buy more.
Are any of these weapons good for what I'm doing, which is like a real sturdy boy build? I haven't seen anything that scales better than E and D.
Curses. I wasted my breath on you. Did that witch send you to torment me?
Oh, be quiet, you filthy lady. Oh god, is this a swamp level? Oh, fuck this game, man. What? Oh, I just used the wrong thing. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if there's necessarily any particular claim of, dude, this is the exact kind of open world game that I do want. But more so, it's just like, oh, there's a nerd there. Yeah, it's more so just like, I think that more can be done with open world games because they seem to be some of the most feature focused, design unfocused games. Unfocused is the wrong word, but it's like whenever I see a new Assassin's Creed game, it feels like they've added more features to it. Or, hey, we added ships and pirate ships and a pirate combat mechanic, but I don't really feel like someone is going, how do we rethink this? What more do we add to this, you know? What are the new experiences that we want to give you? How do we change what's there? Okay. Okay, guys. I think I am definitely for dead. Yeah. It was a good day to die. Oh, and Ghosty, I can't do any more adjusting in that direction. It's a tragedy. Yeah, Honorance is definitely, definitely, but open world games take so many resources. Would any studio risk changing up the formula that fundamentally? Yeah, and I think that I want to again stress, I do not think that Ubisoft is being bad as a studio or dumb as a studio or doing anything wrong or incorrect at all. I think that they're actually quite brilliant. In particular, I think they're just spooky consistent and good at what they do. And especially lately, I mean, Ubisoft has just become a studio I really admire for the kinds of high-quality games they produce, you know, where, like, for instance, Immortals Phoenix Rising was made really quickly, comparatively speaking. Try out this winged spear, see how this one functions. Oh, that's not the button. Still think that this is dealing more damage. Yeah, I think Ubisoft has been, like, great. And I've never heard a term for this elsewhere, but I call it production lock, which is where you have such a huge, large-scale production that when you are done working on game X, you have a studio that is now perfectly positioned to make a game that is exactly like Studio X. So it almost feels like incorrect to do something that is substantially different. How do you think you get up here? How in the hell? Wonder how you get out here. Yeah, so I think it's like really easy in game development to get production locked, right? You just wind up in this loop where it's like, gosh, we're really optimized to make exactly this kind of game, and if people are buying, why not keep making this kind of game? And I actually think that's completely and utterly fair. Because, like, take, for instance, Souls games. If Dark Souls just kept releasing a Dark Souls every year, I would play and beat it every year and be happy every year. But when it comes to open world games specifically, I do not have any sort of excitement in my bones when someone says, hey, it's open world. Like, I'm not that into these kind of games. Why do I keep... What the hell is my character is so dumb. There you go, buddy. I should be doing Crescent Moon Grass more often here. Yeah, because, I mean, if, for instance, someone says, we are a... Well, I don't know, we already see instances of this happening in other genres, where if someone says, hey, great news. Oh, I'm going to die to this guy, maybe? Too good. Someone says, hey, we're making a looter shooter. I'm like, oh god, no, there's too many of those. I don't give a shit. With open world games, with single player games in general, there's generally you have an easier time doing market analysis because there is the notion of a market. Nice. Because people complete single-player games and then want to move on to the next single-player game. But, like, you know, a lot of multiplayer games, it's like, dude, if there's another looter shooter, are you kidding me? The hell would I play another looter shooter, man? Unless it's really insanely, ridiculously good. So, all this is to say, I think that, if you're a studio that is really good at making a particular kind of game, it's easy to get kind of stuck into that. And I also think it's correct in a lot of circumstances to keep doing that. I think that's fine. I think that's great. But I really love when someone does some fresh, interesting-ass, innovative stuff. Oh, that's how this works. Where is... Ugh. What? I'm not entirely sure how to do that. Keep chewing through these CMGs. I have no idea where I am. Blessed Mace +1. So clearly there is a shortcut that I took, which was to fall down to here. You know, I'm going to use something that I, like, do not use almost ever. There we go. All this is to say, when I hear that From Software is working on an open-world game called Elden Ring, I go, ooh, I hope it's not just a million icons. you know, a million icons on a screen. A map that's super gigantically open. A lot of checklists, you know. I hope it's something that's really, really profoundly different. So it's unclear to me how much I skipped, but I think it's... seems to be a pretty good amount. DS2 is kind of open world. Well, the thing is that, like, that there's certainly Rackshire this notion of, there's certainly this notion of, like, well, dude, what really is the difference between a Metroidvania and an open world game, you know? And I feel like it's a little bit more spectrum-y. I feel like it's a little bit more of a spectrum. Where I feel like Metroidvania, the difference between Metroidvania and open world is about the sharp design of the connecting segments. Shankmaster Jake, hell yeah, our new streamer buddy, huh? Give me 1 sec, Jankmaster Jake. Well, that's not terrifying. Oh, you're alive! Oh, my goodness. A great club. Oh, fuck yeah. Jank Master Shake. I think I just called Jank Master Jake in my panic. Jank Master Shake, man, we were talking about you earlier in DK30. How did the streaming stuff go? Oh, and there's Nagmar versus Lionar. Oh shit, scared the fuck out of me. Duelist died and I cry every time. Isn't it sad that Duelist is gone and all we have to show for it is Godfall? James Jake says, LOL, thanks. Everything has been going fairly well now that I got through some issues I've been going through. I'm thrilled to hear that, man. Streaming actually has a ton of just tech issue, and then there's a fucking... you know, there's tech issues, and there's internet issues, and then there's coding settings issues. Looks like the shield plan has worked. I think this is maybe the first Souls games where I've switched a weapon this much. Ugh, this is gross. Ugh. I don't know, I think there's... Ow, fuck. Bro! There's a couple of gaming trends that I'm just a little bit like, man, come on. Like, looter shooter is probably the big one right now, where I'm like, another one? Batman W says, any interest in Diablo 2 Remastered? I do. I do have some interest in that. Jim Master says, I say the D-There has been a success. I'm starting to feel a little bit more comfortable with everything. Yeah, I think that, like, a lot of anxiety can be summarized as just energy your body's giving you to help. Adrenaline your body's giving you to help with a tricky situation and so on and so forth, when really you don't need any of it. And so, like, finding outlets to burn some of that shit off can be instrumental. I find a lot of times if I'm feeling a little antsy, after I'm done with the show, I kind of feel like a... Oh, okay, nice, good. Okay, so this shouldn't be a boss. Really great. Hey, look, it's all of you! Wait, what? Why is this the boss area? Oh, holy shit! Ah, fuck! Phase 1 done or whatever? Okay. Alright, it looks like I just have the good sword, so there you go. See, I can handle all of you in one go. It's not a big deal. Now it's time for me to go try to collect some stuff and get poisoned in the process like an idiot. Anyways. Continuing on with this ramble a little bit, like there's, like, if I hear there's another looter shooter, I'm just like, doesn't get me that excited. Or even a looter stabber, or whatever the heck Godfall was called. Another thing I'm not that interested in, whenever anyone says it's another survival crafting game, it's like, alright, well, let me guess what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna first be hungry, and then I'm gonna, like, punch some trees and get some wood, and then I'm gonna get some stone. Alright, so I guess, is this the next way forward? Going back to the Nexus. Like, it's unbelievably hard for me to be like, oh my god, another survival crafting game, because so many survival crafting games feel a little bit like, hey, guess what? We retread 95% of the same ground as other ones. And I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, I see how people might like that, but I do not.
Thou then touched the soul of the key to life's ether. Soul of the lost, withdrawn from its vessel. Let strength be granted so the world might... Art thou finished?
And the soul and the...
strength help the world be mended.
Lead, iron, hard, doll, writhen. And I don't have enough. Guys, I'm hearing that Valheim recovers some of that discovery that's been missing in current survival genres. I had a oh my god. Yeah, I played some of Valheim, and I really enjoyed the first 5 hours, and then I felt a little bit like, oh, okay, the procedural generation's making everything feel very samey, and I kind of put it down. Enemy Play says, is that not just a problem with creative media, though? There's literally less original things that can be made now than compared to 10 years ago. I actually don't think it's a problem with creative media at all. Yeah, no, I mean, like, as a really simple example, if you said, I'm going to make a sci-fi action movie, you can still do a really good job of it and tell a different story that's even heavily inspired by another game, or excuse me, heavily inspired by another similar movie in the genre, but, like, the characters and the plot points are switched up. I feel like when I see a movie that's trying to clone in some way another movie, there's still a good amount of variation. I think that something that happens in games a great deal is that the mechanics are literally bonk, plopped over. And I'm like, oh, this is that. It would be the equivalent of if a movie had a car chase scene that was the same as the other car chase scene from another movie. And I'm like, oh, they're just playing the car chase that I've seen before. And so this is kind of the issue that I have with a lot of survival crafting games. Because what is the survival crafting loop? It is, I want to make something, so I go and I try to collect it. I go out and try to collect the ingredients for it, and as I'm collecting the ingredients for it, I get ingredients for other things that allows me to start to do this network of build-up. And one thing that was very refreshing for me in playing Factorio versus some other survival crafting games is that, like, I didn't punch trees for 40 hours and then punch rocks for 40 hours to make the same sort of things. I was actually doing different activities on top of that. I need to... So, by the way, I know that people want me to keep these things. If I wanted to pop one for some... No, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do the noobiest thing there ever was.
Thou seekest, then touch me. Soul of the mind.
I don't actually need that much, so I'm going to go to the inner ward, farm a little bit. Subnautica is a great example as well. Subnautica actually has some really different stuff going on in it. Like, I've never played anything even similar to Subnautica, even though it is yet again another survival crafting game. Yeah, Subnautica has this incredible sense of space and exploration and awesomeness. Has the idea of being in water all the time. Has like a really rich story. I mean, I remember just like going on this grind where I watched like streamers playing early access survival crafting games, and I was like, holy shit. It is all the exact same fucking thing. Yeah, so I mean, I think that, like, the one point that I want to stress that I think is really important is the point that I was making maybe yesterday or a few days ago, where I was just like, dude, people are not making games that are fucking good lately. They're just making these games that, like, fill in a bunch of... Whoops. Making games that, like, fill in, like, a marketing or a business person's checklist, but are, like, just a lot of redundancy and a lot of blandness. And so I feel that there is the possibility of someone to make an open world game that's really just impressive and creative and awesome. For instance, Ghost of Tsushima, I have heard more than one person say, on one hand, it's not like it's doing anything that's breakout new as a survival crafting game. Excuse me, it's not doing anything breakout new as an open world RPG. But it's just so well done. It is the perfection of all of those things. Why am I here? Oh, there we go. Couldn't see the bonfire. And so Organized at Ghost of Tsushima is awesome. And I'm not trying to, again, say there's no such thing as a good open world game. Rather, I'm just trying to note, I feel like there's a lot of C and C+ open world games with no new innovation in the genre whatsoever. And all this conversation was spurred by the question, what would I be interested in seeing out of an open world game? What do I want to see in open world? I know that swamp poisons. I know that this swamp poisons you. It's not even a question in my mind. Look, it's giving me Noble's Lotuses. There's no question in my mind. But yeah, no, I think that I am enough burned out on the genre of open world without even really playing particularly much of it. Aha, there's the relink point. Alright, you're telling me to go down here. I'll acquiesce. A Mirdan Hammer, huh? What am I right now? The dialogue came up, and I could not see it. Uh-oh. Did we kill Maneater? We sure didn't, Talon Dragon. We were just accumulating bosses that we haven't beaten. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, I am poisoned, aren't I? Oh, fuck these guys. Let me guess, Noble Lotus? I see you, game. Is this the bridge that I want to go across? This game is so dark. I probably follow these fucking things, huh? The game appears to be telling me to go this way. Oh, quit your whine and just get up. Hey, guys. Alright, so it appears that I need to follow along with these... follow along with these, torches! Good lord, my brain. Oh, I know. Alright, let's heal up and throw our bodies right back into there again. I still just am blown away at the fact that this game is a 2009 game. I cannot imagine being a nerd who's like, oh yeah, I'll only buy this new game, this interesting, well-reviewed Japanese game. Let me give this one a shot. And like playing this, like, what the fuck? So I'm kind of letting myself be guided by these lights. Boy, this is a really good example of what I mean by the sort of uneven difficulty. This area is not actually very challenging, because I can have infinite health. Monster, so your feeling is that Demon's Souls is a game way before its time? Oh, hold on, hold on. Oh! I rarely know what that phrase means. Let me explain what I mean by that. So, I went to grad school for interactive media. So, it was 2008. I started Day 9 TV in 2009. So, I've been, like, more or less professionally doing creative stuff for, like, 12 years. And the number of times, my God, that I've seen someone who is doing a terrible job of the thing that they are making. They're horrible at stuff. That they say, you know what, I was ahead of my time. That is the wrong ass button. Take another look at this later. Yeah, like I remember I heard of someone talking about, I can't remember who it was, like a streaming service that came out before Netflix. And they were like, well, the problem was they were just ahead of their time, you know? Streaming was hard to do because of a lack of broadband. And so that was really the conflating factor. You know, it was a brilliant piece of tech, but it was ahead of its time. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, the product sucked. There was no content. There was no reason to get this at all, ever, at any point. It was not that it was ahead of its time. It's that it was bad. You know what I mean? Like, and so apparently I've achieved something. So that's sort of like a bias that I have whenever I hear someone say, "Oh my gosh, yeah, did that work?" Really ahead of its time. I just can't not remember those conversations I had with people who have made bad products, who are just like, "Oh, we're ahead of our time." Which is, for what it's worth, not at all what you said or how you behaved, Manji. You were just kind of asking the question. I'm sort of reacting to a particular turn of phrase that you had. But I do think that maybe the more accurate phrase is that, boy, was there not a damn thing like this back then, huh? Alright. Let's get poisoned. It's also a little hard to see because I have super bright lights on, so my eyes are adjusted weirdly to the light. Oh, believe me, I know. Hi, sweetheart. So I think that really it's about the contrast of this to... Oops. To other games in the space. It's kind of like when Dota was a thing, no one even knew what to call it. And even when League of Legends was a thing, people called it a Dota clone. Or, excuse me, when League of Legends became a thing. This is like the best weapon to have here, my god. And so, you know, when you okay, so I began this big discussion about, like, mental models, internal logic, and stuff like this, and why I think the Souls games were such bangers. Alright. I used that conversation or to talk about what I think one of the brilliancies of this was, and I'm almost imagining like a map of, you know, points in space that represent how games function conceptually. And the distance between... Oh, fuck. The distance between where I am with my understanding of how certain games work, and how another particular game sits. You know, like I can almost graph a distance between the experiences I've had and the new game, and ask, like, okay, will any of my past experiences help me? Oh, well, look, I mean, like, just distance-wise, you're pretty close. You know, this sort of thing. I'm imagining that when Demon's Souls came out, like, it was like this isolated point so far away from everything else. Like, I've played RPGs, but I don't know what the fuck this is. I'm curious, has anyone played any of the From Software Kingsfield games. I'm so curious about that. Oh, Twitching for Lawless says yes. Spectacular. This guy first. Leo's Klein says not those, but I feel like Evergrace and Forever Kingdom were also influences here. Yeah, like, my understanding is that the Kingsfield games were just hard as fuck. That they were very similar to how these games are constructed. In the way that they actively hate the player. I don't know. Also, I'll just note as a side note, it makes me feel so happy to see everyone talking about getting shots. Because, man, oh god, last year, like right around this time, is when there started to be tons of discussions about people getting COVID, like viewers getting COVID. And I'm just so happy to see the exact opposite. Can I get a late moon grass? Thank you. God, so great. JC Travis, the second vax next week. Oh, God, so exciting, everyone. Fuck. Okay. Oh, come on. Ah. Hey, sweetie. Now here's what's dumb. I gotta go farm for... I gotta go farm again. You know what kind of annoyed me about that is that you get knocked down and then you get... You don't have invulnerability frames while you're trying to stand back up. Hi. I'm sorry, is my lunch in your way, my darling? Well, I hope you like farming. Well, sorry to derail, but is there any chance that Mostly Walking will ever play the other Monkey Island games? Well, it's possible, yeah. I tried to be cognizant about the timing and variety on the show. Hey, enjoy that homework, Amoral Zombie. Yeah, I think the rate at which we play through adventure games is faster than the rate at which adventure games release. Did we beat Maneater yet? No, we moved on to the second area. And then the third, then the fourth. Yeah, Belisarius, when you talk about the other Monkey Island games, we did play the first one. We've played through almost all the LucasArts games. Marky Ochoa. What a thrill to see him, man. Mark, I've been seeing you tweet about and watch the ever-living fuck out of GTA roleplay. Here's the thing. Whether anyone thinks this is true or not, all social behavior eventually becomes WWF wrestling. Right? That's it. It doesn't matter what you try to do. In Japan, they call WWF anime. Or WWE, you know. People play Dungeons and Dragons where essentially you have someone who is a ringmaster just helping guide the players into their ridiculous role-playing and identities. No one takes anything seriously in the slightest at all. They shouldn't. Yeah, and then we have, like, GTA role-playing. You watch me farm, sweetheart? It's not that interesting. Yeah, regression to K... How is that pronounced, Jellocean? Is it... K-Fabe? K-Fabe? Is that it? Pet that cat. Watch yourself. Yeah, Biggs, Despy is a cute girl. You going to your box? Yeah, I mean, spend some time in the box. Dad's gonna keep farming. K-Fabe. Oh, just come on fire. No. Oh, there's no Estus Flask and Demon Souls? Damn right. I gotta farm for my HP potions. Come on, baby. It's kind of crazy how significant the Estus Flask is. Jumping Chicken says, I think I gotta play some SC2 tonight. Oh yeah, new maps, baby. Sarah was streaming earlier, and that was so good. It was so good. I almost didn't get any work done this morning. Says, do you know much about the story of Demon Souls in relation to Dark Souls? My understanding is that Demon Souls is a completely different game. Completely different world. That's my understanding. Crazy Juice says there's a better place to farm grass. Is it Northern California? Wow! Pick it up! Goo! Last one. Mumbo's Mountain. Oh yeah. Ika Bokum. Oh, don't stab me. I'll turn you into fire. Oh, I'm dead. Nice. Oh shit, we did die once according to the prediction. Man, that fucking sucks. I was literally looking straight at chat and just spamming my button like I am right now. Would make me the wealthiest boy in the world. Do I actually?
Then touch soul of the mind, key to life's eve. I shall await thy return, slave. I am here for thee, and thee alone.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Then touch soul of the mind, key to life's ether. Soul of the... Art thou finished?
Okay, so now what are we gonna do?
May thy strength help the world.
May thy strength. I've seen Dota Dragon's Blood. I've seen a few episodes of it. It's fine. I think it's, you know, it's anime. It has some really great visually striking areas and pretty exciting. You know, but then it's anime. You know, what can you do? What are you gonna do? Oh yeah, Eddie Lee was asking about why the halting of streaming Starcraft. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm just not that interested in streaming it. I like watching it. I like playing it. But you gotta understand, I did do like years of Starcraft content that came to the tail end of like 12 years of only playing Starcraft, you know. There's a really interesting phenomenon, which is that it's talked about in public relations, in storytelling, in psychology, that the magnitude of the effect, you want to match the magnitude of the explanation. So for instance, let's say like a bomb goes off and kills 100 puppies. You want there to be some villainous, puppy-killing, plotting bastard. I don't know what's setting me on fire there. Who, like, you know, was part of his malicious plan to to destroy the puppy populace. You know, you want there to be something that feels proportional. As opposed to someone going, oh, you said the coordinate was 9? I thought it was 5. My bad. Right, there's something that, like, feels incorrect about that. And, like, with Starcraft, like, most people know me for my... Well, I should say, at least formerly, most people knew me for my Starcraft work. No, I'm poisoned. No, God. Yeah, most people know me for my Starcraft content. You know, which I think it's kind of just like a stand-up comedian that's just, like, doesn't do stand-up anymore. They just, like, you know, bake bread. Do these guys not respawn after I've killed them? Wow, that's kind of nice. Wow, that's actually really nice. There's certainly a weirdness to, like, oh my gosh, but you watch it and you still like it and you still enjoy it. Why not keep doing that then? It's just like, oh, I just don't really want to. I mean, like, there are times when I wanted to do StarCraft content, but it was just so costly in terms of time to make an episode, and I just didn't fucking want to. I was tired. I wanted to be able to pursue other projects and yada yada yada. There's times where that's been true. There's also times when I'm just like, yeah, you know, everyone is, you know, especially like in the early days in StarCraft when it's like, everyone is streaming their gameplay. Sean, do you want to stream your gameplay? I'm like, no, I'd rather just do a show talking about it, you know. Something feels a little weird about doing the exact same thing that literally everyone else is doing. Which is more of just like a personal creative thing. Oh, wait, because I died, I lost all my souls that I had over here. Man, I gotta pay more attention. So, I mean, like... So at the time when those sort of discussions were had and those sort of reasonings were shared... Oh, what? Can you not roll? That's weird. That's really weird. Can you not roll in the deep swamp? Because I, like, hit the button and I had the stamina and I did not roll. Huh. Anyways. But yeah, no, I've had people where I'm just like, yeah, I just don't really want to. And they're like, but what the but, like... What do you mean you don't want to? I thought you liked it, you know? And it's like they're hunting for a reason that feels more dramatic to match up to that. Because, like, well, Sean, if you started your career doing StarCraft, why don't you keep doing it? Well, really, it's just like, yeah, I don't really feel like it. That's about it. Like, for instance, I'm almost done with this short story book. A Junji Ito short story work. By the way, I did not realize how ingrained the muscle memory of a diving attack was. Every time I'm hopping off one of these things, I try to do a diving attack, which is not a thing in this game. But anyways, oh. I don't think I've actually been over here yet. I'll go over and get this thing. But yeah, I mean, it's also kind of one of these things that I think that it's sort of like an interesting evolution as someone working in entertainment, where entertainment is ridiculously, wildly, stupidly competitive. I mean, fucking streaming? Are you kidding me? Do you realize how competitive this industry is? Like, you know, the number of kids who would literally give up their entire future to be a professional streamer right now is too damn high. And so the only way that an average person could get the motivation to do something that is that excruciatingly, agonizingly competitive. Is it the next hump? Yeah, it's the next hump. The only way they could do that is with passion. That's why you hear people talk about passion with such frequency. Is that, like, that is. It's kind of a requirement until you start, you turn that fervent passion, which I feel like passion is just this sort of latent desire. This latent, like, I'm at school, I'm in math class, but fuck, I'm thinking about a Starcraft build, thinking about a Starcraft tournament that I watched, I'm thinking about all this stuff. And then when it starts to become your job, you realize that, like, not the button I wanted to do. You start to find that the thing that you wish that you could do all the time, it turns out it's the thing that you wish you could do, like, 80 hours a week. Actually, I'm just gonna give a timeout for that. Oh shit! I was timing someone out. That's okay. That's my bad. And I'm glad I timed out the person anyways. That's fine. Worth it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It was someone saying something derogatory about women streamers, which we're not cool with. Actually, on that note, I think that there is... So first of all, I feel like there's just a built-in sexism to a lot of viewing audiences. A lot of people that... And a person who doesn't even view it... let's avoid using the word sexism so that way we can be more precise. There's a lot of people that say things that are offensive to women who are streaming, and they don't view it actually as it's being offensive. They view it as, like, a tongue-in-cheek. It's a joke, like, I don't actually have anything against a female streamer, but anytime there is a girl streaming, I'm gonna call her, I'm gonna make a joke about feet pics, lol, one of those kind of things. But I don't really mean it, However, there is a real problem of scale when you have a bunch of people tuning in, whereas a male streamer, I've literally had no one bring up feet unless I bring it up first, period. And if you're a woman and you're broadcasting, and there's like 700 male viewers a minute coming in, making that same joke again and again and again and again, it does not actually matter how good of a job you do of putting up with it, because, and in fact, in a lot of ways, it feels like there's nothing that matters about how good of a defense or how good of a dunk a woman might do to a viewer, because there'll be 700 brand new people there next minute to be shitters. And by the way, this completely new stranger with the same attitude is something that is a constant property of being a broadcaster. I'm not going to call it a problem. It's bigger than a problem. It's a property. For instance, the number of people that come in and say, hey, when's the DK30 project review happening? It just happened. 5 minutes later, hey, when's the DK30 project review happening? It happened an hour ago. Hey, when's the DK30? And it's easy for me, the broadcaster, to make the error in that particular mistake or circumstance of going, would these people fucking... God, what the fuck? Would they shut up? Oh my god, right? And that's for a localized piece of information, a localized question. Which is different from what many women experience, which is that it is so ingrained in, predominantly male viewers, but also, I've seen... I'm certain you can find a girl who does this. But there's certainly a lot of male viewers who just will say these constant, inappropriate things, these constant offensive things. And so, like, I've started to just be a little bit more hardlined. I don't even know why I said it like that. I just have been and continue to be hardlined about if someone says something that's out of line, especially about that, I'm just going to give them a timeout. I'm going to give a harsher, more blunt communication to convey that that is not an okay thing to do. Is the lake gone? No, it's right there. So, you know, our mod deleted the individual's message, but then I followed up with a timeout for 10 minutes. And hopefully, my hope is that to the individual... By the way, and I'm not saying your name because I want to avoid any sort of dogpiling on you, because, I mean, having me call you out directly, I understand, is going to be certainly enough intensity for you. You don't need the entire world to kick down the door. But my hope is for said individual to just not do that. To just not do that, because there is a big difference between the intention that's going on in your heart, which might have been... you genuinely might have had pure intentions with that. But I think the amount of harm that it causes, especially in aggregate, when you have thousands of people doing it, is it's a scope of bullshit that my women streamer friends deal with, that I've never dealt with, that I do not know how they deal with. It's just appalling. The amount of just agony they have to endure. And in many regards are expected to endure completely and totally unfairly. So, I want to stress to our timed out individual, it's not that you are an evil villain who is horrible, who is bad, and needs to feel bad so that way Day 9 in this community can triumphantly smash the shit out of you. Rather, it's my wish to talk about this a bit so someone who is maybe, again, with that innocent intention in their heart, but maybe with the effect of actually causing more harm than good. In those sorts of communities, that they might be able to reflect and go, huh, I never quite thought of it that way. I gotta fucking pay attention to this game! I gotta pay attention to this fucking game! Fuck! And there's someone who's really kind-hearted, who's like, Day 9, I totally agree with you, but I did predict that you'd die 5 times in the next hour. Yes. Wow, there's someone who is ideologically aligned with me that voted against me, and this is probably the greatest hour of content I've ever made for you. My God. And there's someone who voted for my success, who's sexist, who's like, worst hour ever. Worst hour ever. Fuck. I'm never gonna get past the swamp area. Actually, I'm gonna go back for a moment. Kakafumi says I'm a hater and this is great content. Damn you, Kakafumi. Anyways, that's it. My hope is that our very likely well-intentioned viewer takes an opportunity to reflect. And that maybe some of you who are listening, who were not even participating, take a moment to maybe reflect about some of this stuff. And because I think that there's a really, it's an almost liberating perspective, which is one of, if anyone ever says, hey, here's a set of issues that we want to try to avoid, we want to try to stop offending people in this way. If you go, yeah, people need to stop doing that, then you might actually be the problem. You know what I mean? And that's not a liberating perspective. That's just like something that I believe in firmly. But I think the liberating perspective is one of, stop trying to think of yourself as I am sexist, I am not sexist. Because who is ever going to put themselves in the first box? It's like, no, yeah, no, I'm sexist. Yeah, no, of course, yeah, no, absolutely. Don't think of it as the label. Like, I, Sean Plott, I never want to offend someone along the lines of their gender. I never want to do that. I don't want to do that. But you know what? I probably will, and I probably have. Not because I'm a monster, but because I'm human. And people are human, and people make mistakes. And people also often make a mistake of obliviousness. Oh, I didn't even realize that could be a way that someone is offended. I didn't even realize that. And I think the important thing is not to make sure that everyone knows you have the right label. The important thing is to be prepared regularly to say sorry. Oh, really? Oh, did that? Oh, God, I'm so sorry. Yeah, thank you for letting me know. Oh, God, yeah. And sometimes when you say sorry and you do this, sometimes there is a person who you're speaking to who's been dealing with this scope of bullshit for so long that they start to get heated. Why would they get heated? Because they're not fucking listened to. And you know what people do when they don't feel listened to? They start to escalate. So you, someone who is literally trying to take the step in the right direction, might receive the brunt of the heat from something that another person did. And that's okay. Don't think of it as, I don't deserve this heat because I wasn't the cause of all the rest of the shit you dealt with. Think of it as, how wonderful is it that I was not involved in that painful activity and I still can help. I can help with stuff that wasn't even... I can help with something that I was uninvolved with. I can actually help fix a lot of the stress and strain that this person's been dealing with by being a little bit more patient.
You have a heart of gold.
You have a heart of gold, thanks.
Hello again. I'm keeping
This guy says that I have a heart of gold, but he clearly votes against me. This guy's clearly a hater. Let's put all this stuff here. This is what I want. So be prepared to apologize to people, especially about things that you might personally care about. Like, I was raised by a single mother. The idea of being a woman in the workplace and dealing with the scope of bullshit that men don't have to deal with. I mean, I have not experienced it directly because I am a man. But it's still a thing that you have like there's a first-hand account, a set of first-hand accounts that I've experienced, right? That makes me want to care about that in a personal, first-hand way. And even with that said, it's important to note that, again, might mess up. That's okay. It's not okay as in, hey, don't worry, good job. We get to ignore it. It's just that, again, make sure that you are always ready to dish out an apology. And especially if you're apologizing, be ready to absorb like 7 more layers of heat that might be unrelated to you directly. Talker Lesson says it's also important to understand that standards change. Some jokes that were acceptable 50 years ago are clearly not okay today, and some people shouldn't go in my day, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I mean, I think that, like, in the same vein, people are different. In fact, I made the comment about people that joke about, oh, send me feet pics, and that's very bothersome. Well, I mean, there's probably women who are like, no, actually, I find that very funny. People are not monoliths. People are not lumped into one category. I think the important thing is that because everyone is different, the easiest way to just account for the fact that people are different is to just, again, be willing to apologize, be willing to be understanding, and to understand, frankly, that there is no such thing as the exact perfect set of behavioral rules. And the sooner you avoid trying to think of things as, hey, but what's the exact set of behavior? Just tell me the exact thing to do and I'll do it. The sooner you abandon that and the quicker you go, I'm going to enter into the situation without that much knowledge, but hey, I have this underpinning logic of looking to see if anyone's bothered, checking in to see if anyone's bothered, if you're sensing that, and being willing to give a really warm apology. I'm gonna get all these rings and just see what they do in my inventory. These are the things that I think. These are the things that I think. This is my name is Day 9, and these are my rants, interspersed with deaths in the exact same location for the exact same thing. Raises item carry capacity. Slowly restores MP. Flame. Resistance to bleeding. Resistance to poison. Resistance to plague. I have 2 plague resistance lings. Actually, I'm just gonna keep all these fucking rings, man.
Hello again. I'm keeping a close watch. You have a heart of gold. Don't let them take it from you.
What am I doing? This. My god, I think we've done it. Can this guy upgrade rings? No.
No interest, eh?
No interest, eh? What? Why am I here? There we go. But yeah, I mean, like, on the topic of treatment of women streamers, I've been seeing a lot of comments about, like, wow, there's so many hot tub streams. And I was like, hot tub stream? What's a hot tub stream? No joke, I literally thought it was like hot tub installation. And, no, it is someone. Oh, it's the corpse that was burning me last time, I see. And what I found is that it's like... There's like... I looked and I saw like... 2. Oh, you fuck. Yeah, and I mean, like, it's like one of these things where I feel like if there's 2 to 5 people in all of just chatting doing this, I don't feel like it's a trend. I feel like it's like 2 to 5 people doing it. And also on the topic of, like, oh, well, you know, this particular streamer is just wearing a particular outfit to just get cheap and easy views, yada yada yada. I want to stress from the bottom of my heart, you have no idea how hard it is to get and to maintain an audience. It is like unimaginably challenging. And I've said this before, there's evidence that if there is, for instance, a thumbnail that is sexual in nature, it increases the frequency that both men and women click the thumbnail. Thanks, poison resistance ring. God, it's so dark in here. Lighten it up. I'm just gonna bring these guys out, and then I'm gonna fight the guy on the high ground. It's like, it's literally so insanely difficult that if there is any broadcaster that has, like, any amount of viewership, Oh yeah, you can't roll when you're in the mud. Oh, please hit it. I'm just gonna do single swings. Okay, I need to wait till after swings, of course. Alright, I know exactly why I died. Are we doing that little damage to it? This one appears to have just a ton of health. Yeah, I mean, like, again, there's evidence that if someone has there's a sexually explicit in some regard thumbnail that most people will click, or there's an increased likelihood that a person clicks on it. However, that's a world of difference between maintaining a, like, multi-thousand person concurrency over a long period of time. Like, that is just insanely hard to keep up concurrency. Holy shit. And I mean, like especially if you're streaming from a hot tub, I don't even know what you talk about. Like, I'm playing one of the greatest games of all time. That's my springboard. That's how the content keeps coming. Oh, it's Wednesday? Maybe I'll play some Dota? Oh, great. One of the most brilliantly designed games of all time that has tens of thousands of hours of possibility and content. Yeah, I mean, like, what's the springboard? Oh my god, because I was making this joke about ASMR streamers. I literally don't know how you create content as an ASMR streamer. That seems like it would be the most exhausting thing of all time. I mean, that sounds literally impossible. I think that shit is hard work, man. I think that what I'm doing by playing games, especially games that I have, like, lifetimes of experience playing, like, you know, recently Age of Empires RTS stuff. Very good, very well, very good. I just think that's, like, so impressive. I mean, I think that's, like the most impressive thing. That's incredible. T-Fron says, do you not feel you leverage your personality more than the content to maintain the stream, though? You can play nearly any game and will get consistent viewerships. Oh, I absolutely think that my personality is fucking incredible, T-Pron, and you love hearing me say shit, I can tell that. What I'm saying is that I have a personality, but just because one has a really good sense of humor, or maybe an interesting thought process, doesn't mean that they necessarily have topical entry points. You know, like, I spent probably 2 hours today talking about this game as an RPG. Please lock on. This game is an RPG in contrast to other RPGs. Oh shit, I don't have any Lotus equipped. Oh shit. I think that is the move that I need to just not. I had the wrong thing equipped. Alright, I literally had all the wrong shit equipped. All the wrong shit equipped. I think that I just need to do really patient short slashes. So first thing is first. Let's get rid of this fucker. I actually don't think he'll be that challenging if I just do basic slashes like this. And that's my point, T-Prawn, is that, like, I die to this nerd. I then stop and I go, oh, shit, okay, here's the way in which I'm going to plan out how to do this, and this, and this, and this, and this. And there's a particular manner of speaking, a particular thought process and approach that I have that I recognize that the kids love. That's fantastic. That's the reason that I get to have a career, is those things. But it doesn't change the fact that what allows me to come up with stuff to talk about are the games that I'm playing. Streaming is fucking hard. I actually feel very lucky that I really like Magic a lot. And the games that I've been really interested in lately have large communities. Like, for instance, Age of Empires 2, it's been a blast playing. It has been a blast learning. Oh, it's been so great. Huge dedicated community. Wonderful community coming in, being very supportive of my interest in the game. And then you have Magic that releases new content every 3 months. Jesus. What do you know? So hard to see where that guy is. Oh, fuck. Fuck, don't turn around, you asshole. There he is. I just need to make sure my stamina stays full. Because this Night Shield is like +5 or something. Does Dan see as much as we do in the darkness? Like just his glowing around the fires? I mean, it should be pretty one-to-one, but I want to stress, if you're playing this game in the dark, like if I turned out all my lights and we were in the dark, and we couldn't see anything at all, or I couldn't see anything at all, like my eyes would adjust to this darkened area, but I have like insanely bright lights. Like, I mean... Oh, that one is attached, huh? They're bright, just trust me. So I'm in this bright room. I mean, look at how well lit this face is. Look at how well lit this handsome, arousing face is. It's incredible. You all wish you had this face. This weight gain, I wear it well. Am I poisoned yet? Let me get the hell out of here. Why am I walking? Yay! Nobody noticed. Who's this fucking guy? I'm not going anywhere close to that shit. But like the lighting means that my eyes are adjusted to brightness. And this game is all about the darkness. Oh, come on. Oh, what? Boy, do I... Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I am very, very happy that I am wearing this poison resistance ring. Hmm. 25th says, hey Day9, what's your theory of probability? What does it mean when we say something is X% likely to happen? 25th, I don't think that I have a perception of... I don't have a particular theory. I mean, everything that I know about theory and probability is just rooted in what the math says. Black pine resin. Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, these guys do not have a lot of health. Which might be something different than what you're asking, but that's what I got. Oh, Narrowstone shard. Why are there so many damn shards? Yeah, I suppose that there is a challenge to challenge to being like, okay, what's the probability of, say, a recession happening in the housing market in Q3 of 2021? It's not like we can run... Oh. It's not like we can run 5 different housing experiments in America. I think I gotta do short attacks. Please don't follow. It's not like you can actually do all of these experiments back to back to back to back to be like, aha, we have concluded that the probability is 20%. Like, you obviously cannot do that. So then I think I probably dropped down to here. Hey, buddy. I think maybe I wasn't supposed to fall down here. But it doesn't change the fact that there's the idea of, you know... Ah, there, that's where the noise is coming from. If, similarly, you said, here is a coin, we're going to flip it once, what's the probability it's heads? If we do flip it once, it's tails, and we never flip it again. It still doesn't change the fact that the probability of it was 50%. Oh, what the fuck? Oh, I thought I had my shield up. Oh, shit. Get off of me, you fuck. And I mean, I think that one of the ways to better understand probability is to think of it as the complete range instead of like, what's the chance she loves me? Give me an exact number. Well, if it's like, 50%, it's hard for that to mean much. Ow! Who throws blood on someone, honestly? I mean, let me go back to the housing market example instead of this really dumbass nonsense relationship one. If you're like, okay, all the indicators suggest that things are going to go great. However, the frequency that this stuff that looked great actually turned out poorly was around this percent, and I can start to analyze all these different probabilities. Okay. And what you want to do is you want to account for the range of possibilities. So, in the same way that you go to a casino, and you bet on, red. If it doesn't show up red, you already had a plan of what would happen if that didn't happen, Do I really need that? That badly? This is very beautiful. Fuck. Fuck. Okay. Yeah, 'cause... fuck. Here's what I'm thinking. I want to get to link all the way back to where I was at before. Yeah, screw this probability discussion. I don't really have that much more to say on it. Isn't that where the bridge is? See that this light, that diagonal thing going across it? I think that's the bridge light. No, it doesn't look like it. Because we can see these paths along the wall. I just really don't want to fight two of these big boys. Their audio scares me, I'm not going to lie. Be brave. Also, Chloe, can I just say it's great to see you here? I'm scared to backstab. One down. So far, so good. Oh! Holy shit. Fucking... Okay, that made me jump. Yeah, dude. Yeah, me too. Sucker Stone Shard. Dude, Chloe, how's your week been, man? God, that is the scariest fucking audio of all time. I can just keep baiting his swings. I think we're fine. He only seems to have a one swing pattern, so if I get hit... Just gonna back up. If I get hit, and I'm at full stamina, then I'm okay. So now, I wait till I'm full stamina, I stab. That was a little close for comfort. See there. If I get hit, I just don't swing. So this allows me to stay in range. Avoid taking any damage. Okay, nice. Nice. Ugh. Close has been implementing UI for our game. It's very exciting, but I'm not qualified. But I'm learning new things and helping the game ship. So yay, man. Fuck yeah. That's so awesome. And of course, Chloe, you can always use this channel as a venue to advertise your game. Anything you need me to say at any point. Dude, as you know, we have big opinions about UI stuff in these here parts. What terrible thing happens to me if I go this way, huh? So I assume this is... Because this appears to be the opposite cave wall that we're finally getting the opportunity to connect to.
I know you. Would you buy something, please? My poor child is sick.
In case this dude, UI is hard. Yeah. I've done UI shit. It's... I would describe it as terrible. Oh, shut up. Physical, 14. Show me what you got. Ah, so this is like a little bit better. How do I see how it compares to my existing things? Wow, that is... I'm buying him, huh?
Nothing for you.
Oh, shut up, lady. Yeah, because the thing about UI is, what is UI supposed to do? UI is supposed to be communicating. Oh, I do this, huh? Wait, 6.9?
Please buy more.
Weight on this is 8.1. Oh, those are thick.
Finished already. I only want my dear boy.
Oh my god, if she did not have an armor set that I wanted, she'd be dead. Oh yeah, dude. Oh, I gotta... My arms are so armored. Yeah, because, like, what is UI supposed to do? Well, like, broadly speaking, design in any field, be it games or not, design is about... Alright, I guess I'll go this way. Design is about communicating with someone when they are under no supervision. She's just watching. Oh! And the thing that is really challenging about UI stuff is that there is... I have no knowledge, and then here is the thing that I want to do in the game, right? So I now have some knowledge, and there's a thing I want to do, and the thing between my decision and the thing I want to do is hitting a button, which then opens this menu, which then lets me do this thing, and I have enough money for that, so then I get it done, right? And so, like, the simplest example is, if I want a supply depot in Starcraft, I swiftly select a worker, click BS for build supply depot, and then click boom. It's done. Hold on, I'm going to step out of this shit so I don't get poisoned. Come up with a plan for where I want to go. Oh, Jesus, I see you now. And that process is, like, so deeply ingrained in my body. Just select BS, click, boom, done. And I know exactly what's going to happen. But it was really interesting because in, when I went to go play Age of Empires, I didn't know where any of the things were. So if I wanted to, like, build a farm, well, it doesn't use mnemonics. So it's not BF for build farm. That's, like, not a thing. Instead, it's like... I guess I gotta go around this way. Okay. Use some late moon grasses, man. Instead, you have to know that it corresponds to a grid. And then you have to know... Holy shit! You have to know which icon, then, is... You have to know which icon is the icon for farm, and then you have to go, oh, okay, so it's this one. Got it. Yeah, you love it when I restore my body, huh? I wear this weight well. And so, like, what winds up being unbelievably impossible in UI design... and let me finish that thought, right? So, in Age of Empires, I go through this process to do what? To learn how to build a farm, which, as it turns out, is, I think it's QQ. I want to say, I think it was QQ. And then what starts to happen is the distance between, I think, the decision in my head, and then I do the action in the game, that gets smoothed out infinitely, 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 infinitely. Oh, QQ is house? I'm sorry, I was thinking a house, but saying a farm. QA is farm, QQ is house. I played Warcraft as well. Build more farms. So in my brain, a farm is, Oh, nice. Houses are farms, you see what I mean? But anyways, the distance between I am going to make a decision and then my hands have done it, it starts getting smoothed out over, like, tens of time each game, hundreds of time each day, thousands of times over the next period of time that I can think of. It starts to accelerate. And so then, when you are a developer who has been playing your game for ages, You probably have 1 million smoothings in your brain of, like, perfect neurological connection between internal mental choice and physical action on the keyboard to make the thing happen. And then you have to design a UI for someone that has no clue how to do fucking anything. I think UIs are really challenging to get right. For that reason. I see you. So by the way, my goal right now is just to find how this relinks back to the start. Flame shall be my guide. I don't know where these guys came from. Is there a ladder? There must have been a ladder. Could also have just come from around this corner. Oh shit, is that the start of the game? Oh my god. See, long story short, Chloe, you kick ass. There you go. Vifakov says, Dan, the first footage of AoE 4 is out tomorrow. Wondered what your stance on Relic's RTS games of the past are, if you have any high hopes for it. Sorry if you've already covered this on the stream. So, I mean, I would say, first of all, no, I haven't. I think it's a really interesting question. And I think that Relic, I had the pleasure of going to the Relic office and meeting them. And they're... One of the ways in which the designers at Relic sort of opened my brain is that they, like, I at the time when I went to visit them, I was a lifelong competitive gamer, right? And in particular, at the time I only really even played Starcraft. I mean, that's fine. At the time, I only even really played Starcraft, right? And so, the one thing that was interesting to me about Relic, when they were talking about some of their design philosophies behind Company of Heroes... Okay. Alright, game. Is that they really wanted to embody the realism. Where the fuck do we go? Okay, I want to talk about this in a second. Aha! Holy shit. So, for instance, I had the following conversation with someone at Rel. Oh, you are kidding the ever-living fuck out of me right now. You have to be. So I had the following conversation with someone at Relic where I was like, they were saying, yeah, no, in Company of Heroes, infantry basically cannot deal damage to tanks because it's not realistic. And I was like, well, that seems ridiculous. So you have to build the hard counter. That feels so limiting in terms of composition and blah, blah, blah. I played Brood War competitively. Excuse me, you know. And they were like, yeah, we're not trying to make a game that is like some competitive Marvel. We're trying to make something that makes you really feel some of the realistic combat from World Wars. Or from the... from past wars. Or similarly, Age of Empires 2 is a really great example. Age of Empires 2, like, the art style in Age of Empires, if you are into historical accuracy and the historical embodiment, then it's fucking incredible. I mean, it's just astounding. If you're someone like me that cares a lot about readability in a split second, it's really frustrating. Oh shit, get off my mouse. Get off my mouse, get off my mouse, get off my mouse. Welcome back, sweetheart. And so, you know, Relic, I think, is extraordinarily talented at a lot of the work they've done. They're extraordinarily talented with a lot of the work that they've done in making things really feel accurate with regards to its embodiment. Alright, so now I gotta loop all the way back around yet. Are we okay with this? We are. Who's moaning at me, man? Would these guys fucking stop moaning so much? Good lord. Okay, sorry, this was a relatively intense section, so I cut off what I was saying like 40 times. Anyone who wants to follow me is going to have to fight my cat. And so I think that there's, I think that trying to make a really competitive, focused game is hard. I think trying to make a really competitive, focused RTS is super, 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 super hard. And I would expect that Relic, given their strengths at just making the embodiment of the experience of... I can imagine, like, Age of Empires 4 having all these, like, really historically badass moments with the way that the units are designed, with the way that the interactions are designed. I think it's going to be, like, I have 100% confidence that Relic will be able to make something that is viscerally awesome. Now, the Age of Empires 2 community has this game, Age of Empires 2, that is already spectacular competitively. You already have these amazing tournaments like, you know, T90's Hidden Cup. I'm not going to go that way. That has, like, the Hidden Cup that's spectacular. Does Age of Empires 4 need to be, like, competitively revolutionary? I don't actually think so. Relic also made Dawn of War 3, which had some... And correct me if I'm wrong, I'm suddenly starting to go... Am I wrong? I'm pretty sure they made Dawn of War 3. Dawn of War 3, like, you know, a lot of the Dawn of War strategy games, like, if you play Dawn of War, you're like, holy shit, this is, like, fucking awesome. But I know also a lot of my friends that play a lot of Dawn of War 3 competitively, who are Starcraft players, were just like, yeah, no, it's not... I had, you know, like, the phrase that I heard a few of my friends say is they really enjoy the Dawn of War 3 competitive when they played it, and then they just went back to playing Starcraft. And I think that this is something that, like, I feel like I learned a lot from the Relic designers and talking to them. Because I remember I was like in this room with them, I was like, yes, but like, how can you explain how that would ever be balanced? And they're like, we're telling you that's not what we're trying to do. We are not trying to make it so that the infantry can fight against the tanks. We want it to feel really realistic. And of course, Company of Heroes is considered unbelievably satisfying. And I've talked about this before, and I need to take a break from trying to focus, so I'm going to stop for a moment. No, I'm not. I'm going to cross over here. Is this where I walked up? It is. So I have been here before, right? Where the hell am I? There I am. So I mean, I've talked about this before. That, like, there is a really effective way to play a game is to focus on embodiment, right? It's to focus on this idea of how do I make you feel as Spider-Man-ly as possible? How do I create moments that feel like the realism that you'd encounter in World War II? Or even if you're taking a step up, what would make me feel really powerful in a game? Like trying to embody... Or, oh my god, the embodiment that you see in Overwatch Heroes, whoo! Like Reinhardt. How do we make a character that feels like a badass paladin in a shooter? He's got a shield, he has a gigantic fucking hammer, he can charge and smash people. Holy shit, right? You know, it's again, one way to, a consistent technique to employ to make something feel really good, again, is the embodiment. Which is often strongly at odds with what I'll call formal elements in a game that lead to good gameplay patterns and satisfying gameplay patterns. Simple example, last hitting in Dota. There is a resource I want, and I need to get it by hitting the last possible chunk of damage to kill the guy. If I deal 90% of the damage and then someone else kills it, they get the gold. You can actually remove the gold gain from it and instead call it a combo. Combo 1, Combo 2, Combo 3, Combo 4. And it's really engaging and really satisfying. Despite the fact that it sounds fucking ridiculous on paper. Oh, let's stack a camp. Hit the camp at 55 seconds to drag it out of its respawn box. A new camp will spawn, and the old camp will return back there. From a formal perspective, it's a really satisfying thing to do. There's interesting and compelling gameplay loops around it. It's very skill-heavy. I don't like where this is going. And, you know, for instance, if you try to say, like, okay, how do I make the player in Dota feel even more badass? I have no idea where the fuck I am. Whatever. I'm sorry, I said Dota, but I meant, like, if you were trying to say, ooh, how do I make something feel more accurate to the time that this was taking place in? It might just be fucking useless in the game. I do not want to face a boss at all, man. It's a problem. This audio is movingly awesome. Am I poisoned? I think we're gonna win. If you need me to speak too soon again, I'm happy to do so. Oh, his arm's gone. Oh, what the fuck? He just emits. And here comes 3. I'm trying not to engage right now, actually. I'm trying to study. Found your sweet spot, my booty. Oh, I just punched him? Oh, God, that bzzz. I need him to shoot me. Because when he shoots, that's when he stops his rotations. That is the most beautiful sound. That was an unbelievable artistic achievement, that boss. Me beating it, that is. I'm the fucking best. Selling an NFT for that victory on the internet. It'll be $69 million, LMAO. But seriously, the audio and the visual design of that, oh, mwah, it's incredible. It's fucking unbelievable. Like, I almost was like, I gotta just keep running in circles because this is... Holy shit. I mean, that was spectacular. Oh shit, I'm gonna get poisoned, huh? Oh, it's when I try to roll, that's what's causing this thing. Get me out of here. I think I've earned myself a trip to the bathroom. Well, how the hell do I ever relink back? I must have missed it. Alright, well, I suddenly very, 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 very badly need to use the restroom.